Summer's probably the leanest season of the year for video game releases. Like it's all about the new announcements and building hype for the massive fall drop, but hey, don't sleep on it just yet because we've already seen some bangers like Stray in July. And from the looks of things, August is gonna be the same, if not better. So let's dive straight in and check out some of the best releases this month. First up, combine evil with cuteness in Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb's one of those games that we've seen a billion times at this point, and yet somehow it feels like we still haven't seen enough of it. The game, which is Devolver's darling for the summer, throws us into this adorable world full of cute little animals. Underneath this layer of colorful wholesomeness, however, is a dark, sinister truth. You're a lamb, and yep, you guessed it, you've got to build up an evil cult of worshippers to do your nefarious stuff. What this means in gameplay, though, is that you recruit these animals and make them work on farms, buildings, and a bunch of other jobs around your place. You know, it's kinda like one of those top-down farming games. With that said, there's a lot more to it than just that, as you also head out on expeditions and slay monsters to become more powerful and gain more followers. Oh, and of course, since you're an evil leader, you can totally ask your sweet cultists to do your bidding. But again, just like any other crazy community, you'll have dissenters too, which you'd have to exterminate. So, recruit cute animals, slay monsters, and build a little village in Cult of the Lamb as it heads your way on Nintendo Switch, PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5 on August 11th. Up next, get into some fast-paced action in Rollerdrome. Okay, so we all love Tony Hawk's Pro Skater here, right? And of course, we also really like those slow-mo mechanics in Max Payne. So what happens when you get an insane idea to combine both of those things? Well, you get Rollerdrome. Honestly, we don't know how to describe this game better than that. It's literally roller skates with a shooty and time-warpy twist. Set in a dystopian future with corrupt corporations, you're trying to make your way up the ranks in this new bloody sport by doing tricks and killing things. Now, in theory, this concept shouldn't work, but when you actually get your hands on that controller, you'd struggle to find games that control as well as this. Everything from the shooting to the level design is as tight as it gets. Oh, and by the way, you get ammo and reload by doing some sweet tricks, which, again, is as incredible as it sounds. Also, those combos, they're muy bien and keep you coming back for more. So, power up your PC or PlayStation and start grinding those rails in Rollerdrome as it drops on the 16th of August. Now, let's relive a great story with Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered on PC. While Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered isn't technically a new game, we just had to mention it as it's still one of, if not the biggest release of the month. Of course, if you've already played it on your PlayStation, then you know the drill. You're the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and you've got to save the city from total annihilation. Having said that, the way that Insomniac revolutionized the traversal in this game is nothing short of fantastic. Also, we're not even going to get into the storytelling because, again, this is one of, if not the best Spidey stories to grace our screens. What's more, with the remastered version, you get the full benefits of visual upgrades like ray tracing and better lighting as well, which makes everything look stunning. All we're saying is that if you're a PC person who hasn't given this a go yet, then it has to be at the top of your list. So head over to Steam and pre-order this masterpiece right now. After that, cause some mayhem in the new Saints Row reboot. Saints Row has always been a franchise that struggled with its identity. We mean, it started off as a pretty cool GTA clone, but by the time we got to the third game, it had completely transformed into this insane chaotic comedy that almost seemed unhinged at times. Obviously, the time hasn't been kind to the series as, again, some of its edgy humor hasn't aged well. Besides, it was never a game with tight mechanics or storytelling. With this upcoming reboot though, Volition's gone back to the drawing board and has stripped down a bunch of things. For instance, the game isn't as over the top anymore, and things are a bit more coherent. Of course, that doesn't mean that you won't have all the crazy stuff like blowing up the entire city or doing insurance fraud. All of that's still there. It's just that Saints Row now focuses more on its strengths, which makes for a great experience. As far as the story's concerned, it's a tale of a bunch of millennials who are tired of being low-ranked grunts in a big gang and decided to open up their own startup gang. Now, the narrative's never been the strength of this series, but we're willing to give this one a go. The character customization, on the other hand, is as deep as it gets with a billion options to choose from. Like, we're not even joking. You could literally make any character you want in this game. On top of that, the gameplay's also solid, making it a prime contender to revive the franchise to its former glory. Next up, brawl your way across the city in Midnight Fight Express. If you loved Sifu earlier this year, then Midnight Fight Express is going to be right up your alley. Set in a Gotham-like crime city, the game puts you in the shoes of Babyface, who's a former member of the criminal underworld, dragged back into the, quote, life against his own will, unquote. And you've got to do whatever it takes to defeat the criminals before sunrise. Now that kind of sounds like John Wick, right? Well, not only does it sound like it, but it looks like the action franchise too, as you employ realistic street fighting techniques and fast-paced combat and make your way through the city. Oh, and did we mention that it's made by a single person? Yep, we're not joking, which makes this game feel even more impressive. Also, Also, he describes it as a brutal and hyperkinetic brawling ballet, which honestly is a combination of words that only elicits excitement. Seriously though, this really is a beautifully choreographed action movie translated into a video game. So head into the city and flex your fighting muscles when Midnight Fight Express comes out on August 23rd. And now, brush up on your football skills with Madden NFL 23. EA's Madden NFL series has been the sole custodian of the football game for over 2 decades now, and after all this time, it still hasn't lost its charm or quality. As a matter of fact, we'd say that Madden's in a better state than ever before, and with this year's game, we're about to get that next big jump on the field. Called Field Sense, this new gameplay tech's gonna inch the game ever closer to real life by giving players more control at every position. Not only that, but the visuals have seen a major upgrade too, thanks to next-gen consoles from Sony and Microsoft. Plus, you've still got your old favorites making a comeback like Ultimate Team in the franchise mode. But hey, if you want to get some cinematic action too, then Face of the Franchise has got you covered with its story mode season. So, strap on your helmet and make that tackle as Madden NFL 23 touches down on the 19th of August. And finally, be the talk of the paddock in F1 Manager 2022. The official F1 game from Codemasters, great and everything, but what if you don't actually want to be a driver and want to manage your own team instead? Well, count your lucky stars because F1 Manager 2022 is here to save the day. It's easily the most in-depth Formula 1 experience that you'll have. Like, you choose every single part of your team, including drivers, staff, parts, finances, and much more. On top of that, you've got to face off against other cunning team bosses, like Red Bull's Christian Horner or Mercedes' Toto Wolff. Plus, since it's officially licensed, every track, team, and driver is plucked straight out of real-life sport. Don't let that manager tag deceive you into thinking that it's gonna be one of those top-down games with just numbers though, as you actually get to see the action on track in stunning detail, along with all the graphics and telemetry that someone at the pit wall would see. Also, we just can't understate the sheer depth of management in this game, as you can literally pick and choose between individual parts on your car and tweak them around. Oh, and if you want to get spicy with all the politics of Formula 1, then yes, you'll get that here as well. So hold that clutch and brace yourself as F1 Manager 2022 crosses the checkered flag on August 25th, 2022. That's a wrap for this video. Which of these August releases are you looking forward to the most? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.